There is good news for you. Among the millions of faces that pass like drifting clouds through the sky of ordinary days, there is one soul that stands apart, not because the world crowned her with loud glory, but because quiet light follows her wherever she goes. She is not simply someone I know, she is not merely a passing chapter in the long and restless book of life. She is a rare constellation, drawn carefully across the night of my thoughts, a presence that turns simple moments into something almost sacred. There is a kindness living inside her that the world has never fully understood. It beats softly in her chest, like a patient drum that refuses to grow silent, even when storms pound against it. Her compassion stretches wide, wider than the horizon at sunrise, wider than the open sea that welcomes every river without complaint. She carries people in her heart the way the earth carries forests, without asking how heavy they may become. And perhaps that is why her soul sometimes trembles, because those who give the most warmth often feel the cold more deeply. Those who open their arms to shelter others from rain are the same ones who stand beneath the storm the longest. Still, she remains gentle. Still, she remains generous. Still, she remains the kind of woman whose presence feels like the first quiet breath. After a long and difficult night, there is something remarkable about the way she loves. She does not love halfway. She does not build careful walls or place limits around her affection. When she chooses someone, she chooses them fully, with patience, with loyalty, with a heart so wide that it almost frightens the world. And the world, not always deserving of such tenderness, sometimes returns that love with careless hands. Words become sharp, promises become fragile, trust becomes something people drop like glass on a crowded street. Yet even then, her spirit does not turn bitter. It aches, it bends, but it refuses to become cruel. Because cruelty has never been part of the language her heart speaks. She believes in people, even after disappointment. She believes in goodness, even when shadows gather. She believes that somewhere beneath the noise and confusion of life, there is still something pure, worth protecting. That belief is both her strength and the quiet reason for her pain. For a heart that feels everything deeply cannot easily ignore the wounds of the world. She senses sadness like distant thunder. She notices loneliness in places others overlook. She recognizes broken pieces hidden inside ordinary smiles. And without hesitation, she reaches out her hand, not because she expects praise, not because she hopes for reward, but because helping someone breathe easier feels more natural to her than turning away. That is the beauty of her soul, a beauty that does not depend on mirrors or admiration. It lives in small acts of care, in the way she listens when someone needs to be heard, in the way she protects those who feel forgotten, in the way she continues to give warmth even when her own heart feels tired. There are people in this world who shine loudly like fireworks that explode brightly before fading into smoke. But she shines differently. Her light is quieter, steadier, more like the moon that stays patient in the sky, guiding lost travelers through darkness. Many may not realize how extraordinary that kind of light truly is. Yet anyone who has felt it knows it cannot be replaced because it carries comfort that words alone cannot describe. It reminds you that goodness still exists. It reminds you that kindness is not weakness. It reminds you that there are still souls brave enough to care deeply, and she is one of those souls. A woman whose heart is not small, not cautious, not limited by fear. Instead, it stretches endlessly, like a field of wildflowers, growing freely beneath an open sky, but feels so wide, sometimes feel the harshest winds. And that is the quiet truth about someone like her. Her compassion makes her powerful, yet it also leaves her vulnerable, because feeling deeply means experiencing joy intensely, but also sorrow with equal depth. It means laughter that fills the air, like music, and tears that arrive without warning when the world becomes too heavy. Still, I see her strength, not the loud strength that demands attention, but the quiet strength that continues moving forward, even when the road grows difficult. The strength of someone who refuses to stop loving simply because love once caused pain. The strength of someone who keeps believing that hearts can still be gentle, that courage deserves recognition. Because in a world where many choose indifference as a shield against hurt, she chooses compassion instead. And that choice is one of the rarest forms of bravery. So when I think about her, I do not only see beauty, I see a resilience. I see kindness shaped by experience. I see a spirit that continues to glow even after facing storms. She may not always notice how remarkable